Hello, everybody. Las Vegas Collectibles, LVC Diversified on Instagram, which I do have some things to put on Instagram. I do need updates. So I just put out a video, just my quick take on PSA opening up the doors to their regular submission at $100 without any kind of limitations, and how I believe that makes PSA look really weak right now. I discuss how CGC is opening up to 11 new TCG games, including an additional TCG of Yu-Gi-Oh! And obviously that didn't come out of nowhere. There's a reason for that. Really quickly, PSA has long been like the number one grader for Pokemon cards. Obviously they shut down. Obviously the price of grading a Pokemon card made no sense, and nobody would have freaking done that. And if they did, I'm sorry for your loss. But so that means they went somewhere else. So most likely they went to CGC, which is the premier. I don't care what anybody says. They are the number one, the best grading for comics, magazines, and cards, right? The only problem is they've only ever graded Magic the Gathering and Pokemon cards. Now, if you can imagine nobody submitting to PSA for a year, any Pokemon, well, they were submitting it to the next best option, or I shouldn't say the next best, the next most popular option, which is CGC. It's always been the best option, but it wasn't the most popular option until PSA closed. Obviously, CGC is your only option. So not only is it the best option, it's your only other option that you should take seriously, in my opinion. Like, HGA grades fakes, like SGC has that cardboard cutout. It doesn't. Anyways, so they got so much demand. They were like, hey, this Pokemon's doing really good for us. This Magic the Gathering is doing really good for us. PSA's closed. Let's take some more of their business. And so they opened up to all these other TCGs. So now people still can't submit to PSA because any of those TCG cards aren't worth submitting to PSA at $150, $100. No. So still in this moment, today, this is December 20, I don't even know what, 28, 29, December, this is December 29th. CGC is still not only the best option, but it's the only option as far as I'm concerned. But like PSA at $100 and $150, nobody's going to submit their TCG cards to that. That's crazy. If you do, I'm sorry for your loss. But you have CGC available to you. So they got so busy. They opened up, and for the first time ever, they are grading cards other than Magic the Gathering and Pokemon. So PSA lost so much business. These other companies gained so much business. They're literally expanding. Like CSG is talking about rebranding their label. Oh God. So PSA opening up full speed, no breaks at $100. I think it's just a sign of weakness. They overestimated how much demand they would have when they opened up that level of service. It obviously was extremely small amount of demand because I think it only took a week for them to just say, oh, we don't need to wait. Just send in your cards. Please send in your cards because we don't have enough cards to grade. Yeah, so that's my take on that. That's a little sum up of what I was talking about before. You know what? I might just keep this version and just delete that other video so that way you don't have to watch both. That basically sums it all up. So that's my take on it. Now, sketch cards. Come on, guys. Come on, everybody. This is being silly. This is the next bubble to burst right here as far as cards go. Look at these sketches. Look at these sketches. Look at the list. Now that's some Kate Upton. That's some art right there. Edward Vela does some really cool art, by the way. Who are these people? So the reason I bring this up is because I like sketch cards. I absolutely do. From artists that have some kind of, first of all, skill. You have to have some skill. Number two, are actually involved in the product line in some way, right? So, and I'm not just talking about Marvel, right? Oh, this person drew once for a Fantastic Four book, or they put some colors, or they did some ink, or they did some pencils for a Fantastic Four book. So we're just going to let them draw whatever they want on this card. And then they end up drawing, Cyclops. That's actually a pretty cool looking Cyclops. Or Madam Hydra. Look, Madam Hydra. Like, what? What do they have to do with that freaking person? What do they have to do with that character? What do they have to do with the content? Nothing. So look at this. Jack O'Neill. That's actually a pretty cool one. That's a good looking Stargate. This one is not. What is this? What is that face? I don't think that looks good at all. This Obi-Wan looks pretty good. Matt Stewart, well done. This could be drawn by. This is not special. That's not special. Nope. That's a pretty cool one. Oh, Edward Vela. He does some good work. Let's see. Look at these things. What are these? What are we looking at? Who are these people that are drawing these things? Not only that, they don't even put the credit of the person who drew the card on the card. Like, look at this. Look at this Spider-Man card, which I think is ugly. Wait, nope. Go back. See original listing. Look at this. You have to know that signature, or you have to look up the freaking checklist of the product, right? So you would have to look up Sketch Effects Archives 2009 and try to figure out who signed that. Because what do? Nothing. They don't give credit to the freaking artist. So you just have some random Spider-Man drawing. That's not even good. This is not what kind of shoulder is that? I can draw this. I'm like 94% sure I can draw this well. Hey, sorry whoever drew that, but that does not take a lot of skill. What is this? Come on. That's actually okay. But no. Like these sketch cards are getting out of hand. They're not by artists that are sought after for the content on the actual freaking cards, right? Like I just don't understand. Like, these aren't Jim Lees. These aren't Jay Lees. These aren't Mark Silvestri, Michael Turner, Frank Miller, Lucio Perillo, freaking J. Scott Campbell. These aren't people that are sought after at all. These aren't David Finches. Who the freak are these artists? And everybody's buying them up because they're one of ones. That's the only one of its kind, so it's worth money. Look at this thing. It says it's a Hillary Clinton sketch. That does not look like Hillary Clinton. It looks like a freaking little boy. That's actually a pretty cool Neymar. That's pretty cool. And it's a Lord of the Rings. It's not even Neymar, but it reminds me of Neymar right there, right? Like, look at that. That's pretty funny. Look at these things. Come on. But this is pretty good. Like, this is actual art right here. Like, this is a painting. You know what I mean? Edward Vela does great work. And then you have this. Who's Gordon Wills? I don't know. Maybe he is famous. I don't know. But that, you're going to pay $25 for that? But your sketch cards, I think, are going to be the next biggest problem. So be careful, okay? Really look for something that not only represents the subject matter in their most classic images, but like this Venom, $5,000. It's missing the auto. What does that even mean? It's not an error. The person didn't sign it. That doesn't make it an error. That makes it not worth anything, because now there's no verification of who did it. Like, you could just draw that, get it graded, and say that it's an error card. No, don't do that. Okay, don't. It's one thing to have faith in a product and say, hey, I think sketch cards are going to be the next big thing. Okay, and you want to be involved in it and you want to participate in it. Okay, great. I like sketch cards. I want to participate in it too. I've always participated in sketches and original art pieces. But But it's one thing to want to participate in it, and it's another thing to actually know what the heck you're doing. And I think that's generally the issue at hand for so many things. Ignorance is not bliss. Ignorance is ignorance. If you don't know the artist, if you don't know the subject matter, if you don't know the value of it because you're not sure and you're just speculating, well, then you're just gambling. And good luck. Truly, good luck. I do wish you the best. I wish everybody the best. But there's no way some of this stuff is worth this much money. It's just not. So be careful. I guess that's what I got to say. Look at this. Now, see, this makes sense. That's John Romita. Not even John Romita Jr. That's a John Romita Sr. Kingpin. Come on. That's freaking not only an iconic artist, but it's also like an iconic freaking villain in Marvel. This is perfect. And look at him. He's just angry. He's always freaking angry. And it's John freaking Romita. Like, if you don't know who's doing the art, don't buy it. I just rambled on for a little while, and I'm probably going to edit a lot of that out. And it all comes down to sketch cards. If you don't know who the artist is and you can't find their information associated to the drawing that they completed, it's worth the same amount as a commission piece. And if you don't know what a commission piece is, you should probably not be buying sketch cards. Yeah. You can get extremely beautiful, well done pieces of freaking art related to Marvel, DC, Image, whatever you want. Political, not, religious. You could do all kinds of stuff. You could get beautiful pieces of art for $25 to $100. Go to artdeviant.com. People like me, people who are obsessed with freaking art and just love it to its core and love the uniqueness and the ability to turn a blank piece of paper into something beautiful. Love every aspect of it. If you're somebody who actually wants the image, wants a piece of art, just go to artdeviant.com. Stop doing this. This is an amazing, one-of-a-kind John Romita sketch of Kingpin. Now, this sketch is a trading card. This sketch is not an 11x7, which you would get at Art Deviant. Yes, size does matter in all aspects of things. You would not pay 4,000 American dollars for a little teeny tiny card with a sketch on it from John Romita. You're not. You can get a John Romita sketch, CGC yellow label, signature series, 9.8 freaking book, comic book, for less than $4,000. And that would be still expensive. Like, if you paid like $3,500, that would be expensive. For a freaking comic book graded by CGC, authenticated, yellow label, all that stuff. And you're going to pay $4,000 for this little teeny tiny card that somebody, says it's John Romita. It's not witnessed by anybody. So it's not a yellow label CGC. So they're just saying he did this. Looks like him, by the way. Look, this I'd be willing to walk out on a limb saying he did this. But no. It's not worth $4,000, people. It's not. You know what? Here you go. Mita signed. Look at this. So this is not Kingpin, right? This is freaking Spider-Man in the black suit. Is this another card? Don't tell me this is a card. This is not a card, right? This better not be. Oh my God, if this is... Autograph to this item, details on the back of this card. No, this is just the autograph card verifying the certificate of authenticity. It's an 11 by 14. This is 11 by 14. Not only is it John Romita, it's inked. Not only did he sketch it, he then inked it. He freaking put the Sharpie to the paper or whatever ink he used. It doesn't look like Sharpie, but it's 11 by 14. This is an actual freaking piece of art. So is the trading card. Don't get me wrong. For $7,000. Like, this is worth $7,000. And honestly, I think that's a little high. I think this is actually worth probably $4,000 to $5,000. Personally, that's just my price tag for that. And you're gonna pay that much for a Kingpin trading card? Like, look at this. This is a $3,000 John Romita Sr., Doctor Doom, Captain America, and Spider-Man. And you're gonna pay $4,000 for a trading card? No, don't do it. Right? So, biggest two things with sketch cards, okay? One, if you don't know the artist who's involved in doing the actual sketch, don't do it. Art is valued. Like, if you just go to like a freaking museum, go to an art dealer, call somebody, ask them what makes art valuable for resale. Ask them, like, just, hey, what's the top 5 characteristics for a piece of art for resale? Right? Some of those elements, the actual artist, who did the actual piece of work, the subject matter, is it historic? Is it referring to a specific moment in history, or is it a piece of art relating to a coaster, like, and it has no relevance in history? So who did it? What's the subject matter? What's the were there any similar pieces done by that artist? So, for instance, this is a John Romita Spider-Man in the black costume, the Venom costume, right? If John Romita only made one of those ever of Spider-Man in the black costume, that would be worth more than if he made one of those a week. Supply versus demand. Now, they're not carbon copies, they're not duplicates, they're not prints, but it does matter. If he's made 1,000 black suit Spider-Mans, 11 by 14 inks, maybe different poses, different action shots, whatever it may be, it's not going to be as valuable as if he just did one. Right? So that's part of the elements, right? So if you're buying a sketch card, all right, if you're buying a sketch card and the art is completed by somebody who is unknown, like, this is Bob Pacheco. Actually, he's actually kind of known. Let's see. Oh, where's that weird Venom card? Look at this. So this piece of art, because it is still art technically, you don't know who the artist is. This is just a random Venom. I don't even like the design of his suit, the way this is done, but this is just a random Venom. It doesn't have the green stuff coming off of his tongue. Anyways, so this is not a point in which there's some kind of historical significance, right? This isn't the first image of Venom. This isn't Venom representing the first time he wore an ugly costume. I don't like this at all. But there's no significance to it. You don't even know who the artist is. And there's a bunch of Venom sketch cards out there in the world. We don't know if this artist did a bunch of them. We don't know, because we don't know who the freaking artist is. So this doesn't check any of those elements. This is just a Venom drawing. I can do that. Like, it doesn't carry any value. So just understand that there is an extreme difference between getting involved in something because there's a lot of hype and, sketch cards, they're all one of one. Okay, this is going to hurt people. This is going to hurt people a lot. So do your research. If you are interested in getting some sketch cards, try to figure out who the artist is first. If you can't, don't even buy it. It's not worth the capital. You're going to lose out on the opportunity to purchase other things. If you don't know who the artist is and you can't figure it out, or if you can figure it out and you do some research on them and they're just another artist, there's nothing significant about them. They're not famous for anything. They've never been involved in the creation of a comic book character. They're just an artist. Well, then it's still not worth a premium compared to the price you would pay if you just contacted that artist directly and just said, hey, I'd love a piece of art of Venom. You know, how much would it cost? A commission. So it's not worth more than their commission. Because you can just send them a freaking blank card and ask them to sketch on it, and then you can grade it, and you'll get the same exact thing as this freaking weird Venom thing. So understand that, okay? If you can't figure out who the artist is, skip. Don't buy. If you can figure out who the artist is and they have no significance in history relating to the subject matter or comics in general, right? Like Joe Quesada or Frank Miller. Like, okay, so Frank Miller. If you had a Frank Miller drawing of Venom, that would be worth a bunch of money. He's not known for any Venoms. Like, he's not known for drawing Venom. His name's not attached to that. He's probably done some Venoms in his lifetime, I'm assuming, but Frank Miller is known for, Batman, Daredevil, Elektra. He did the 300 series recently, actually. He's known for Sin City. He's known for a lot of other stuff. He's not known for Venom. However, he's so significant in the comic book world, he can draw a freaking picture of a fly, and it would be worth something to somebody because it's just Frank Miller, right? So if you're getting involved in sketch cards and you can't figure out who the artist is, skip. Don't buy it unless you just really love the image and you're just collecting. However, if you're thinking if you purchase the item it might go up in value, no, it's not. If you can't name who the artist is, it's not going to go up in value. And if it does, you're just getting lucky. There's no reason for it to go up in value. So if you can't name the artist, skip it. If you can figure out who the artist is and you do research on them and they are insignificant to the comic book world and they're insignificant to the actual subject matter of the piece of art, skip. Because you can just reach out to them directly, send them a blank card, and they can just draw on it for whatever their commission fee is. Or you can just get a huge 11 by 14 beautiful piece of art if you actually enjoy their art for less money if you reached out to them directly for a commission. Look at that. Look at this freaking Gwen Stacy. $5,500. Make offer. I bet you if you offered this person $4,000, yeah, they would take it. They would take it. And you would get a freaking beautiful Gwen Stacy 7.5 by 12 John Romita. Come on. Yeah. You're telling me that little Kingpin card's worth more than this? You're crazy. So those are the two big things. The other thing is, how common it is for that artist to draw the subject matter. That's lower on the totem pole. If you can figure out who the artist is, right there, just right there, you know who did the drawing. That gets you to the next step, which is find out if they're significant to comic books and the subject matter. If they're not significant, just skip. If they are significant, okay, check number 2. It's worth moving on to the number 3. Have they done a lot of images of this character? Especially in trading cards, because that's the medium that you're participating in. However, look elsewhere. Have they done a lot of sketches on comic books? Have they done a lot of Like, are they known for this character? Because if they are, it should not demand a premium more than what they would charge for like these sketches. Like a John Romita sketch card of that Kingpin shouldn't even be close to this Gwen Stacy. It shouldn't. The subject matter is not as popular or not as sought after. It's tiny compared to this, so size, yes, does matter. Yeah, it just doesn't make any sense. So those are like the three elements. Really take your time with it. Don't just buy cards because you think people want all the sketch cards. There are going to be people. Okay, now that I've said that, that's talking about for you as a collector and for you as an investor. That's my takeaways. And that's my word of caution to all of you. However, realize there are people that are going to make profit selling to people who are ignorant. If you're ignorant, you could potentially be a victim of stuff. So be careful. Know what you're getting yourself into. And understand, if you do buy something where you don't know who the artist is, or if you buy something and the artist is just not significant, you better just really like what you're buying. You really just must want that card. Right? You must need that card. Because if not, you can easily reach out to that artist and get them to draw you anything you want. They will take your money and they'll be very happy to draw you whatever you want. So just be aware of those things, right? It's not like sketch cards are the only places where these artists draw. So those are my words of caution. I'm going to edit this video out. So if you see a bunch of cuts, it's just because I was long-winded and I think I'm up to like 40 minutes, which nobody needs to sit through. Other than that, have a great day. Take care. Have a good night. I'll see you again tomorrow.